Hey, I'm Dave, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about shooting into the sun on exterior photography. It's not a position we really want to be into. Generally, it looks pretty ugly and it's a little hard to control, but it is something we're going to face. Especially now going into winter, the sun's going to be lower on the horizon. We're going to have those higher dynamic contrast ratios and stuff, and it's just something we all need to know how to deal with because we're all going to face it. I think the first thing you can do to work with shooting into the sun is to try and fix as many problems as you can in the initial shoot. That is, try and find angles where you're more obtuse to the angle of the sun. You're more away from it and less shooting directly into it. That's always the best way to deal with the problem, is to try and eliminate the problem. There are still going to be times where you need to shoot right into the sun. So other things you can do is try and get a tree to mask the sky or the sun. Use another building, use something to, be creative with your angles. Do things that are going to try and tame that bright sky behind what you're shooting. When all that fails, your best option is to bracket shoot. And that is shoot 2 under, shoot in exposure, and then 2 over. It used to be that's pretty much what our solution was. We do our quick edits in Lightroom, shoot it over to Photoshop, layer it, bring in the good exposures, and then send it back. Now, with Lightroom being so much more user-friendly, smart, whatever you want to call it. But now with their smart masking and things, there's a lot of ways to fix these problems in Lightroom without having to do that Photoshop trip. And that's going to save you a lot of time. This shoot that I'm going to show you, I shot this, I think, Friday in Wendover, which is border town between Utah and Nevada. I say Nevada, all of you are thinking Vegas. Well, Nevada's Wendover is sort of the same thing, just a little smaller and not quite as fancy as Vegas, but it is a gambling town, and it's where a lot of the people from Salt Lake go. So I was shooting exteriors of this strip mall essentially, and of course it faced west and north, and there's my sun right behind, like every angle I wanted to get. I got there around 10 o'clock, and no matter what I did, I was going to have bad sun the whole day. So there was nothing I could do about it other than try and be creative and smart about shooting. So I'm going to go through how I shot some of these images, how I edited some of these images, and hopefully you'll be able to see how to get good images out of blah images when you have to shoot into the sun. So if you're ready, let's go. All right, here we go. Here is the property, and as you can see, this is the north-facing side, and this is the west-facing side. This is an edited final, so that's not really where we want to start. Let's go back to the beginning. Here's doing my best to shoot away from the sun. The sun is literally on my left shoulder. But I'm still shooting into the shade and getting a blown out sky. So like I said, I bracketed this. So there's the underexposure and there's the overexposure. In the old days, this is what we do. We'd take this one and we'd pretty much edit for the building. I have this exterior preset that I like to use a lot. I think I got that from Gary Gomez. Thank you, Gary. It's a good starting point. So anyway, I like that. So I'm just looking at the building. I don't care about the sky. I don't care about the sidewalk or anything like that. So I just kind of, get that to where I want the building to look good. And that looks pretty good for the building. And then I go to the next image, which is the underexposure. I'm just going to go ahead and hit it with that preset, and now I'm looking at all the highlights and all that, and I think that actually looks pretty darn good. So I'll take these 2 exposures and send them over as layers in Photoshop, and You know, like I said, anytime you go over to Photoshop, it takes a little time to get that all set up. Because I was kind of shooting this quick and dirty, I did not use a tripod, so I will have to align my images. So I just align them like that. And then I'll go ahead and put a black mask on the overexposed layer. And there we go. We've got just the sky in the background looking good. And then I'll just use a white brush to bring in the building and in the shadow areas like that. And that deals with it pretty darn well, don't you think? Certainly a lot better than any of those individual images. You know, and then you can send this back to Lightroom with Command or Control Save and do your finals on that. I'm not even going to go into at all, you know, the final tweaking and straightening and all that. I assume you all know how to do that. But there's our put together image. I'm going to reset that to 0, you know, and you just do whatever you would normally do to do a final edit. But we've definitely got our exposure a lot more in control compared to this overexposed one. See, that's very far to the right, and this underexposed one. So anyway, that's the way we kind of used to do it. Now I'm going to show you how to do it in Lightroom all by itself. So this is looking directly into the sun. The sun is right over there. So this is about as nasty as you can get. There is showing a pretty good exposure of the building, but the background and the foreground just blown out. So what I would do is I would actually start with this. Something where I've got a really good sky and the foreground's in control. I don't care that the building itself is way out of exposure. So I'll hit that with my little preset, and that makes me pretty happy. Now, because we can do masking in Lightroom, here, let's get rid of a couple of those little yuckies while I'm in there. I'm going to go here and I'm going to use a brush, and I'm just going to brush on the whole building. And, you know, all the things that are in shadows that I want to see better, I'm going to brush on all of those. And it shows me what I'm going to mask in red. And then I'm going to go ahead, and what I usually do is I bring up the exposure a bunch. As soon as I do any changes, the red mask disappears, and I can see the results of my adjustments. So I'll bring up the exposure some, and then I'll bring up the shadows like that. And usually I go a little too far. I'm used to that. That's how I feel. I always go too far, but I'm prepared for that. So to me, the contrast in the building doesn't look good. So I'll bring up the contrast a little bit and try and get some darks back in there. And that looks pretty good. And then I'll end this by going back to exposure, bringing that exposure back down just a little bit to where it looks realistic. And that's really good. Now here is what I think is the coolest thing that Lightroom has added. And that is differential and adding together masks. I don't know if you noticed or not, but when I added that mask, I kind of went into the sky. And it honestly, it doesn't look too bad along here. It doesn't look, you know, you're not seeing that line, but sometimes it will. So here's what we do. We go up here and we hit minus because we want to subtract out of that mask, and we hit select sky. So it's going to pull the sky mask and take that out of the mask we just made. So now when I look at the mask, see how it's completely cut out the sky and it's only doing the building? And that gives us a nice crisp edge, and it makes everything look really good. And I'm done in a minute 20, you know, no big deal. No need to send this over to Photoshop and screw with it there. Let's try another one. Here's one. This is kind of the exposure I would use in a bracket for the buildings, and then here's the exposure I would use for the sky. So let's just take the sky version, the underexposed version, and let's hit it with that. I think it needs to be a little bit hotter. There we go. That doesn't look too bad at all. But the shadows are still kind of dark. So let's go back in. Let's take our brush. Let's brush this building in. And again, it's okay to be sloppy. We're going to take that sky out in a minute. So I just get all this stuff. And let's go ahead and do that. Take out the sky bit right now. Just select sky with the minus key, and you'll see all that there, gone. So now all we're going to do is adjust all this stuff. And so let's bring up the exposure some. No, that's too much, even for me. Let's bring up the shadows. I really like the shadow adjustment better than the exposure adjustment. That's why I kind of do the exposure first and then I bring the exposure down. Another thing you're going to find with shadow areas is they turn very blue. So a lot of times I'll warm them up with the temp slider just a little bit. You know, they're still fine blue, but you might want to warm them up a little bit. This is going to need some straightening and, you know, a little bit more fixing up, but by and large, I don't think that's bad at all. That's definitely deliverable for this project. And then I just hit done. Let's suppose though, in this, let's say that I brush too much. You can always hit the Option or the Alt key and use that brush and subtract out of your mask too. So anyway, that is how I handle backlit or severely contrasty shoots, all in Lightroom. And I think that does a lot to make it easier, faster to fix. So good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much.